Welcome to the Get Your Game On podcast, hosted by Andrew and Chris.
Hey everybody, welcome to Get Your Game On podcast. I'm Andrew.
I'm Chris. How you doing today?
We've got some great topics to talk about today, wide variety of sports. Some big news just coming out today, August the 11th. The U.S. college conferences, the Big Ten and the Pac-12, have both announced that they are postponing the season. In all likelihood, it's going to be canceled, and that goes for not just football, but all fall sports.
Yeah, I know with football they're considering trying to do some spring football maybe, depending how things with COVID get under control down there, which right now is not happening.
Not at all.
So I think they're making the right move, because who knows if they're even going to have students on campus yet down there.
Right.
And if you don't have students, obviously you can't have student athletes.
Right.
So I know it's big money down in the States to lose these games, but safety first. It's nice to see that they're making the proper call and postponing, potentially canceling, putting health first, and hopefully by spring maybe we can get some college football, because I know for me I love watching college football. These guys down there in the NCAA, like, those are your future NFLers.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got some CFLers who also play in there, but it's amazing football to watch. I just love but then again, I just love watching football in general, so hey, why wouldn't I want to watch?
That's fair. It's of course not just football, all fall sports. So you'd have your just about anything that's a fall sport, things like rowing, kayaking. I don't know if those ones are normally spring ones, but kind of lesser known or lesser popular sports.
Yeah.
Such as that. So they've canceled everything. But like Chris said, I think it's a good move. It's the right move, and it puts public health first, and that's what we need to do in these crazy times. But moving along, we've got some NBA news as well. They're going to be starting up the playoffs soon, aren't they?
Yeah, the NBA playoffs kick off here on August 17th, so that's right around the corner.
Yeah.
You've got, as we mentioned before, the Lakers are the number one seed in the West. The Milwaukee Bucks have secured the number one seed in the East. Now, Toronto did play Milwaukee on Monday, and it was a great game. And it'll be interesting to see how the Raptors do in the playoffs. Can they repeat? Can they go back to back, which is extremely hard to do in any sport, especially the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've only seen that with Michael Jordan. It was what I could remember, at least for recent memory, right?
Yeah, it doesn't happen very often. You have seen, LeBron has led multiple teams to the NBA Finals, but it's not an easy trophy to win. And as we've seen, it took the Raptors to last year to finally get their first one. Can they get the second one? I think they got a good chance. That they, even though they don't have Kawhi Leonard anymore, they've had an amazing season, and those guys learned how to play as a team. And I'm not a huge Raptors fan. I do like the Raptors just because they're the only Canadian team.
Right.
But I'm looking forward to seeing how it all plays out, in the next little bit.
Yeah.
You look at the NBA and the NHL, their bubble system is working.
It is absolutely. You haven't had anybody being tested positive for COVID within the bubble, whether it's player, whether it's coaches, whether it's auxiliary staff or anything like that. And I think that both the NBA down in Disney there in Florida, and of course the NHL bubbles, the Toronto and the Edmonton one, they've just executed it about as perfectly as you really could, I think.
I think that too, and even something that we potentially weren't planning on talking about, but talking about the bubble reminded me. Major League Baseball has actually come out, and they may be once it gets to their playoffs, they may be going into a bubble situation. They're ironing out the details. It could be 3 cities for Major League Baseball, but they've seen it work. So now they're like, well, maybe this is the right way to do it, and they should have done it from day one.
They really should have prevented a lot of the cases, a lot of the game cancellations and postponements, and just wreaked havoc with the schedule. Not to mention, of course, dozens of people actually getting sick. Which shouldn't be overlooked either. But we certainly wish all of them well. And hockey news, though, we do have some hockey news.
Yeah, today was the first day of round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We did our prediction show yesterday. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen it yet, you really should watch it. It was a great show. I at least think so.
And you can catch all of our episodes, by the way, if you just smash that subscribe button right down here. Just smash it, and you'll get instant access to all of our episodes. Even some behind-the-scenes coverage. I don't know. Now we have to make behind-the-scenes coverage.
Great. Now you make me work more. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. But don't forget to subscribe. But you will, you'll be able to check that out. We did our predictions yesterday. Today was the first day, and one of the games was a real marathon session.
Oh, was it ever? The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Columbus Blue Jackets went to 5. Yeah, you heard me right. 5 overtimes. There was over 150 shots combined between the two teams. Yeah. Set an NHL record for most shots. Like one thing I can say, most saves. One thing I can say about both those teams, they probably are sleeping well tonight.
Oh, you'd hope that they would. And it actually not interrupted, but caused the postponement of the subsequent games. So Boston Bruins and Carolina Hurricanes were supposed to square off at 8 o'clock Eastern. Tampa Bay and Columbus were still on the ice at that time, never mind having any opportunity to, turn over the dressing rooms or anything like that. So they postponed it until tomorrow morning, which will be August 12th, Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 here in Calgary. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Well, you have to. It was a smart thing to do. Those players had been sitting, waiting to play, and they were going to get injuries would happen if they would have tried to force it after waiting that long, potentially, So it was a smart move, and as well, for safety reasons, they had to do it. But yeah, that Tampa Bay Columbus game, I was watching the Stars Flames game. I was trying to keep an eye on it because it was history in a lot of ways.
It absolutely was.
There was multiple times I thought, oh, here we go, this is it. Nope.
Oh, no.
And it just was back and forth. It was an amazing game to watch. Tampa Bay ended up winning it 3-2.
Yep, they did.
Even though Columbus's goalie, I didn't hear the final number of shots.
It was he faced 88 shots.
Oof.
And he saved 85 of them.
Like, to face 88 shots in one day, they basically played 2 games of hockey today.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the fatigue plays on those guys. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the rest of that series plays out. Because if it's going to be anything like that, man, are we in for an entertaining hockey series.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's, who would have thought, Columbus versus Tampa Bay, even Columbus getting that far for one, but for them to give them such a run for their money. If future games are anything like this one, I think that it's going to be a really great series. Another series that, of course, we're both really interested in, that started today, is Calgary Flames
versus Dallas.
It was a great game this afternoon. I didn't get to watch it really the whole way through, as I was working during the day, but did have the TV on mute, and that second goal by Dylan Dubé.
Oh, Dubé played an amazing game, but yeah, that second goal, I thought I was seeing someone like, Sidney Crosby or Connor McDavid on the ice,
or even a Wayne Gretzky.
It was just he held his ground, he beautiful deke and got the goal,
just dug in. I mean, it was from past center ice, and he just skated on in, just stuck with it, and deke, and just into the empty net, just undressed the other goalie there. Hrdobin, yeah. I didn't know how to pronounce it, so that's why I just called him the other goalie. But amazing play. But not just that one play. It was a great game that they played, minus that 1 week goal that Talbot let in.
Yeah, he should have had it. It was deflected, so I'll give him that. But sometimes that deflected puck is hard to stop. But it's 2 goals in 9 seconds. You can't allow that to happen. Hopefully that's the biggest blip that we have to deal with in this series is a major letdown. But Dallas came, tied it up in 9 seconds with those 2 goals, as I said. Then it was such a tight game, and then Rasmus Andersson just came down and
shelved
shelved it.
Top shelf.
Beautiful goal. Oh, one of the scariest moments of today's game for me, though, was in the last minute. You know, when Giordano clears it over the glass, and they've got their goalie pulled, so it's 6-on-4, and I was sitting holding my breath, but wow, did Calgary smother them for that last minute.
They did
not allow Dallas to get anything going.
No.
And they earned the win today. Like, they were finishing checks, we talked about that they needed to do.
They're playing really physical hockey. That's something even, during the game, during the intermissions, they had pointed out. And this is, Ron McLean was talking to Brian Burke, actually, used to be president of hockey operations or something for the Flames. And he had mentioned one season he's looking for truculence. Just real tough players, they're out there to, throw the weight around. But that's really what we saw today out of the Flames. And actually, even in the qualifying round against Winnipeg, they really are playing a physical game. Hard-nosed hockey. And, it's bearing fruit for them. They did win, of course, today. If you weren't aware, 3-2. So hopefully that continues. They're playing again on Thursday.
They play Thursday.
And then on Friday as well.
Yeah, the back-to-back will be interesting. No, interesting fact, though, I was reading today a little bit online, and someone tweeted out, I wonder if Dallas fans realize that Dylan Dubé was the 56th pick in the draft, where we got the draft pick from Dallas in the Chris Russell trade. So Dylan Dubé was drafted with Dallas's pick.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
And Calgary has a habit of getting some good players out of Dallas in the past.
That's right. Of course, Jerome McGinley was drafted by the Dallas Stars initially, and then was dealt to the Flames for Joe Newendike and
somebody. I don't know.
There was a multiplayer trade, but those are really the only ones that we're interested in. And at the time they're saying, "Oh, Joe Newendike, is this kid gonna be? Is he really gonna be that good?"
Yeah.
He sure was. He sure was. Franchise player.
He was the heart and soul of this team for years.
Absolutely.
But I really hope that Calgary can keep up the physicality. Interesting thing is Ben Bishop didn't play today, though.
Yeah.
Ben Bishop with his size he's hard to beat. So we'll have to see if he ends up getting in the net for Dallas. If that changes the series. I really am looking forward to Game 2 because, as most Flames fans know, we don't do so hot in Game 2.
Yeah, it's seems to be our Achilles heel. Thankfully, during the last series there, the qualifier series against Winnipeg, the second game was the only one that we did lose, and it was certainly respectable. It was by a score of 3-2, so you can't win them all. So that was fine, but yeah, I think Dallas isn't going to be a sweep by any means.
No,
they're not going to go down without a fight. It's going to be interesting, and we'll see what they can do for Game 2. I'm optimistic. I know that their prior record is not very.
Well, let's shake that record. Let's get Game 2.
Not very enthusiastic about it, shall we say? But you know what? I'm going to go into it with an open mind, and at the end of the day, it's whoever can put the most pucks in the net. So.
Exactly. It's going to be fun. I'm loving watching hockey, and sports are back. NFL training camps are starting in session. They're going through all their COVID protocols, and so that'll be interesting to see as the weeks develop what happens down south with the NFL. Still no news on the CFL, whether we're going to have a season or not. I really hope so, but time will tell on that one. Well, I think that pretty much wraps us up for today, unless there's anything else you wanted to bring up, Andrew.
No, I think that pretty much covers it for this week. It's a quick show, a light show, but we got the information that we needed to get out to you guys, so you're well informed about everything that's going on in sports. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and if you like our show, check out our other episodes here on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, send us a comment, tell us we're doing great, tell us we suck, tell us a joke, whatever, it's all good. Leave some comments in there. And, we'd love to grow our subscriber base so we can keep bringing you some great content. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Chris?
Just one last thing.
Get your game on.